Salena Zito. First of all, Salena, congratulations. Let me just say this. I don't know if this is the first time that it's been said to you on a national broadcast, but I want to introduce you to Salena Zito, a #1 New York Times bestselling author. Hello, Salena.
No, it is the first time, and you're going to make me cry.
I was with the first time I was a #1 New York Times bestselling author when it really meant something, when the New York Times wasn't just like I was with Vince Flynn, and he said congratulations, and I said thank you, and he said, I want you to know how hard it is for me to say that, because I worked my whole life writing to get there. And you just wrote a story and now you're #1. I feel for you because you worked your whole life in writing and studying how to write and listening to people. And I'm so proud of you and happy for you, Salena.
Well, I have to take this moment to first thank you, Glenn, for using your platform to introduce your listeners to the book and to the importance of the book, not just about what happened to that day, not just about me being a witness to history, but also why things are happening the way they are. That's what the book Butler does, and it really gives a profound look at what is happening in the country. And I think it concludes at the end with a chapter called The Reckoning. And it's about my profession. And it really tells you everything that you need to understand about what is happening with my profession. And you can see it with the whole Epstein thing. And also the
so I want to hang on.
Yeah.
I want to get into the Epstein thing. I've got so much to talk to you about to get perspective on, but I have to start here. Could we please play the CBS reporter who now has had to have therapy? Listen.
For those of us there, it was such a horror because you saw an emerging America. And it wasn't the shooting, Chuck. I got diagnosed with PTSD within 48 hours. I got put on trauma leave. Not because I think of the shooting, but because you saw it in the eyes, the reaction of the people. They were coming for us. If he didn't jump up with his fist, they were going to come kill us.
I know. Wow.
No.
Salena, I did not get that appearance from anybody, but he was there. He saw it. Wait a minute, you were there. What did you see?
Okay. Well, I didn't see that. First of all, when you're a journalist, your last reaction should be, this was about me, right? Because you're there to tell the story of what happens. You're not there to talk about your feelings. And so, and it's just so insulting for him to frame it that way, because he was talking about, people turned around and were yelling at the camera. He thought they were yelling at him. No, they were saying, we also are going to fight. This is about standing up for America. And I know that because it's in the book Butler.
Well, he didn't read it. He was too busy with therapy. So wait. So you're saying that when they looked at the cameras, they were looking at the American people sending a message through the camera?
Yeah, they were, and I know this because after the shooting, it's about 2 hours. It's an hour later. Everyone is in the parking lot. Remember, there's 50,000 people there. There's at least 15 to 20,000 cars, and people can't move. Now, if they were angry and wanted to hurt him, they would have not been peaceful, sharing food, sharing water, hugging, singing. It was a very aspirational moment. And one guy was talking to me, and he said, "Yeah, we looked at the camera and said, we will fight." And like the one guy said, "Yeah, I gave the camera a finger." Then he goes, "We'll tell the whole world that America is not backing down, and you can't take us out." Now, if you took the moment to, if he would have taken the moment to think about it, maybe he couldn't do it in that moment, but be more reflective afterwards and understood what was happening in the moment, he wouldn't be talking about himself and his feelings.
But wait, is this what your psychiatrist told you after the shooting?
Yeah. I didn't have a psychiatrist.
Wait a minute. You were just a couple. Yeah, you were just a couple of feet away from the president who was bleeding. You could see that. You had a Secret Service agent on your back. You were in the line of fire. And what do you mean you didn't? You didn't go to a psychiatrist after?
I don't know. I mean, we have a job to do as journalists. And, even though I cover politics and shooting isn't typically part of it, if you come up as a journalist, you cover cops, you cover things that happen all over a city or a region, you learn to completely detach and do your job. That's what you do as a journalist. That's your job. That's your function. You're supposed to deliver the news as it happens, and your feelings are not supposed to be part of it.
Okay. Let me give you something different. This was just about 2 hours ago, posted on X by Susan Crabtree. I don't know if you know her. She's the national political correspondent for Real Clear Politics. Yep. Okay. She just announced on X that, the Wall Street Journal did that report yesterday where they showed this letter and this drawing that Donald Trump sent to Epstein. What, you didn't believe that? It was in the Wall Street Journal. You didn't believe that, Salena?
Not for a second. That's not his signature. Everybody knows his signature. And he wouldn't draw that sloppy. He is very perfect about everything that he does. He would not draw that picture.
All right. Okay. So I think everybody, even Elon Musk, is like, okay, come on. All right?
Yeah.
Everybody knew that immediately, except for the Wall Street Journal and the reporter that apparently got that inside card or letter that he was sending to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, here's what Susan Crabtree just reported about 2 hours ago. The Wall Street Journal reporter that did that story yesterday worked for Main Justice, which is Glenn Simpson's wife's publication. Yeah. For those who don't know who Glenn Simpson is, he's the founder of Fusion GPS. If you don't know who Fusion GPS is, they're the ones that were paid by Hillary Clinton for the Epstein file. I mean, how? What?
So how does an editor allow something to go past their desk like that? You have to press and ask questions of the reporter. You have to make sure that everything they have said, especially something that could possibly be as salacious as this appeared to be, you have to make sure that that everything is unearthed. That's your responsibility as an editor. That this got on to a page in a storied news organization is just beyond the pale to me. My editor would have throat punched me if I would have tried to pull something off like that.
I love that.
Sorry, I didn't. I was just talking to.
That's all right. No. It's so funny. I was just talking to Donald Trump's wallet yesterday, and I'm like, have you gained weight? And he's like, yeah, a little bit from CBS, but I'm about to put on pounds now with the Wall Street Journal. I mean, this is ripe for lawsuits and defamation, is it not?
Yeah. It is. And here's the thing, Glenn, and I don't think people are talking about this enough. Take a look at all of the wins that the president has had, not just since he was sworn in, but just in the space of the last 6 weeks. It's been unprecedented in history. So how do you stop those wins if you don't like what he's doing? I mean, that's the question. And I think the Wall Street Journal provided the answer.
Well, I mean, I hate to ask Jason to explain, how this has worked. But Jason, could you explain to Salena what's happened here today and yesterday?
Are you talking about your prediction? Is that where we're going to now?
I don't. No, I don't. I don't know. Whatever it is you wanted.
Selena,
whatever it is you have.
So, Selena, what happened was I'm Glenn Beck's writer and chief researcher, and we were going to do this amazing story on Wednesday and show where we were going to just talk about a whole bunch of Epstein stuff. But he throws it out at the last minute, which, trust me, has never happened to me before, ever. Like, Glenn's never done that to me. But yeah, he just throws it out, and he's like, I got this theory that I think that, one of the reasons Donald Trump is so pissed off and why he's naming Hillary Clinton and all those things in his posts is because maybe he's got inside information that they're about to start releasing information on that ties him in some way to this.
Yeah, that's not true. That that he knows that this is coming, and we're not seeing it. He knows it, and he's like, "You guys cannot be this stupid." Now, I said on Wednesday, I don't know if this is true. But this is the only thing that makes sense to me. And look at what's happening, which also brings me to why they're ignoring the left. The Democrats have just let the left take over, and they're revolutionaries, and there's blood in the streets, or at least it's coming in buckets, I believe, if the Democrats don't start stepping up. And I said, I don't think they are. This is a few weeks ago. I don't think they are because they're afraid of their own supporters. I'm not sure that's true. After what we just saw with this letter in the Wall Street Journal, and what is coming out of Real Clear investigations now about the conspiracy investigation that's going on, I think they're more afraid of jail than they are blood in the streets. I think they are desperate now to stop this any way they can because they know it's over. What do you think of that?
Well, so the key word that you just said, Glenn, is desperate. And desperate people do desperate things. And we see that just when this story came out yesterday, I was driving home from D.C. and thanking Jesus for getting out of there. And I thought, this is so obvious. And to your point, if you just sort of follow everything that the president has said, everything that he has posted, and then all the sort of things like Epstein, and then this Wall Street Journal. I mean, it's so obvious. Even a 12-year-old could put the puzzle pieces together that they were prepping to do this because they know a bigger problem is coming their way. They know it. They can feel it. It's coming down their back.
It's amazing. Salena, thank you so much for your perspective, and congratulations on the #1 New York Times bestseller. Salena Zito, the author of Butler, a must-read. If you want to understand not just what happened on that day, but understand where we're headed, what's happening in our country, what the press is missing. I mean, I swear to you, I wish people had an open enough mind that people who disagree with me would just read this book, because you would be able, if you had an open mind, you might be able to understand what people like me and others who are not revolutionaries, who don't want to round you up, who don't want any of the stuff that your side claims we want, you would begin to understand us. Really well written, well researched, and well done by Salena Zito. Thanks, Salena.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.